Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Canton City Council. Please turn your cell phones to vibrate. With a quorum being present, the chair calls this meeting of Canton City Council to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Clerk.
Smart Clerk. Here. Snapcott. Here. Shulman.
Here.
Hall. Here. Kimbrough. Caglione.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Fisher.
Here.
Hall. Here. Merrill.
Here.
Ferguson.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
11 present, 1 absent.
Tonight's invocation will be given by at-large council member Jim Babcock. If you would all please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Almighty God and Father, bless us all as we gather here today in our endeavors. May we be guided by your spirit of discretion, serenity, and wisdom. May we seek to do and deliberate on all those things which are compatible with your divine and eternal plan. Almighty Father, we also ask you to guide us today so that we may seek only to build, not to destroy, only to help, and not to hurt, and only to instill love, and concern, not hate and indifference. And may the trust which we have in you secure our confidence in what we are about to undertake. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you,
Mr. President.
Clerk.
Majority Leader, we excuse Member Kimbrough, please.
Mr. President, I move we excuse Member Kimbrough for tonight's meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to excuse Member Kimbrough from tonight's meeting. Any questions? Roll call.
Smuggler.
Aye.
Babcock. Aye. Shulman.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Caglione.
Aye.
Smith. Aye. Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
Member Kimbrough is excused from this evening's meeting. We are now under agenda corrections and changes, and we have none for this evening. We are now under public hearings, and we have none for this evening. We are now under old business, and there is no old business for tonight. We are now under public speaks, and we have no speakers for this evening. We are now under informal resolutions, and we have none for this evening also. We are now under communications. Let the journal show that all communications are received as read. We are now under ordinances and formal resolutions for their first reading. Mr. Clerk, please begin with ordinance number 1.
An ordinance authorizing Canton annex territory known as the Hall of Fame Village, number 6 annexation area containing approximately 1.950 acres, more or less, assigning said territory to Ward 7 of the city zoning. Said territory as Hall of Fame Village District, declaring same to be an emergency, refers to annexation committee. Number 2 is ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring same to be an emergency, refers to finance. Number 3 is ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020, declaring same to be an emergency, refer to finance. Number 4, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020, declaring same to be an emergency, refer to finance. Number 5, an ordinance approving Department of Development's amended citizen participation plan and declaring same to be an emergency, refer to community and economic development. Number 6, an ordinance authorizing the mayor, director of public service to enter into contract with ECDI Inc. to administer the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act funds program, advancing the general fund dollars to expedite the program to be reimbursed when federal funds are received, pending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring same to be an emergency, refer to finance, community and economic development. Number 7, ordinance authorizing the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as part of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of the Canton, Ohio, and declaring same to be an emergency. Refer to judiciary. Number 8, resolution authorized law director to distribute free of charge public officials and public institutions copies of the 2020 supplements to Canton codified ordinances with a fixed price for the sale of same, declaring same to be an emergency. Refer to judiciary. Number 9, ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59, 2020, and declaring same to be an emergency. Refer to finance. 10, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59, 2020, and declaring same to be an emergency. Refer to finance. Number 11, ordinance authorizing the mayor, director of public safety to enter into any and all contracts necessary to respond to the 222 Cherry Avenue Northeast demolition, authorizing the auditor to pay any and all more obligations for responding to the emergency situation and declaring same to be an emergency. Refer to finance. Number 12, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service and the Canton Park Commission to advertise, receive bids, award, and enter into contract for the lease of approximately 741 square feet of office space and other space incidental to its use for non-profit youth programming at 1414 Market Avenue North, and declaring same emergency. For the public property, chapter 3, and finance. Number 13, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59, 2020, declaring same to be an emergency. Refer to finance.
This time, the chair would declare an in-house recess for finance, community and economic development, judiciary, and public property capital improvement committees to meet in regards to ordinances 2 through 13 on your agenda this evening. You are now in recess.
Mr. President,
Member Merrill.
this is Member Merrill. It is 7:08. We'll call the Finance Committee to order. We have ordinance number 2, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring the same to be an emergency. Finance Director?
This is an appropriation that is sent down by the courts. I have no information on this.
Okay. All right, it appears it's a transfer from the Court Technology Grant Fund. Law Director, I don't know, do you have anything to add to this?
Hi there, Councilman Muriel, Mr. Chairman. I don't have anything specific, but I do know that this is not an unusual expenditure for them, and I don't see any reason why it would be a problem.
Perfect. Okay, anybody have any questions on this? Okay, hearing none, we will sign this one out. We have ordinance number 3, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring the same to be an emergency. This appears to also be a transfer out of a award fund for the courts. Anybody have any questions on this one? Hearing none, we will sign that one out. We have ordinance number 4, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring the same to be an emergency. This one also appears to be for the courts. Anybody have any questions on this one? Hearing none, we'll sign that one out. Next, we have ordinance number 6, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into, oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's, okay.
Yeah, let me go to the next finance one. Sorry, I apologize for that. We're going to move to ordinance number 9 at this time. An ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, typically the building code department does approximately $5,000 a year in refunds to landlords that register their properties incorrectly within the city. This year we had some additional refunds for commercial and residential properties that were not in the city, that we had to refund their funding, as well as we need to do these appropriations for a shortfall in our professional services line.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on this one? Hearing none, we'll find that out. Moving on to ordinance number 10, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, this is asking for appropriations for the police department to purchase additional supplies related to COVID, such as masks, gloves, hand sanitizer for the police department.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on this one? Hearing none, we'll sign that one out. We have ordinance number 11, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public safety to enter into any and all contracts necessary to respond to the 222 Cherry Avenue Northeast demolition, authorizing the auditor to pay any and all moral obligations from responding to this emergency situation and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman and members of council, this is a demo that had to be done based on the building being deemed to be an unsafe structure. So it was demoed, and as the city does, we will be going after the actual owners of this property for the amount that we had to pay to demo the property.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on this one? Hearing none, we'll sign that out. We have ordinance number 13, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, this is a supplemental appropriation for the utility billing office within the water department. What the funds will be spent for is we have to upgrade the Aclara system, the automated meter reading system, and this will go towards a one-time implementation fee.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions regarding this ordinance?
Yes.
Yes.
Director, could you explain what a one-time implementation fee is for this? What are you changing here?
Okay, so essentially we have the automated meter reading system that's been in place for some time. The system that has all of the little readers at the homes that go and automatically transmit to the billing department, and that's how we produce the bills. We have an annual payment and an annual contract with Aclara, who provides this. Specifically, what this is, the software, kind of the base software behind the system, it needs to be upgraded, and so in order to do that, the water department negotiated the contract to do this. Typically, it would have been covered under the supply ordinance, as it's something that happens every year. However, in order to do the upgrade to the new web-based system, so essentially we are now going from a system that we host to a hosted solution, which is better from a security and liability standpoint. So it's a much better system from that perspective. We have to pay the implementation fee. In terms of how long this particular system will be good for, we had the current hosted system for well over a decade. So the intent in talking to Aclara is that this system will also last some time. Obviously, with changing technologies, I'm hesitant to guarantee anything, but this should last us for some time, and it is on top of the typical annual contract for Aclara.
Okay. Any other questions?
Programming, correct?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question. I apologize.
It's all right, I'm assuming this is new programming, correct?
Yeah, this is taking our hosted, the system that is on our servers and the old system, updating it to their new system on their hosted servers. and this is something, kind of common. I know IT's been looking at this for other, this type of transition for other systems within the city.
Okay.
Any other questions on this one? Okay, hearing none, we will sign that out. It is 7:16. That concludes finance. At 7:16, we'll go into the joint session of Finance and Community and Economic Development. Ordinance number 6, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into contract with ECDI Incorporated to administer the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act Funds Program, authorizing the advancing of general fund dollars to expedite the program to be reimbursed when federal funds are received, amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, at our last meeting, council was gracious enough to allow us to accept the COVID-19 CDBG funds and enter into contract with different entities to spend those funds. As I mentioned at our last meeting, we do not know when HUD will actually release those funds. So with this legislation, we're asking to use up to $200,000 of general fund dollars to create and establish a small business grant relief fund for businesses located in the city of Canton. And then once the CDBG dollars arrive, we will reimburse the general fund.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions regarding this ordinance?
Yeah, Chairman Mario?
Yes, Member Morris?
Deputy Mayor Williams, who exactly is this ECDI Incorporated?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
members of council, ECDI is a micro lender. It stands for Economic and Community Development Institute. We've entered into contract with them back in 2019 to administer some CDBG funds on behalf of the city. So they're currently under contract. They're one of the largest micro lenders in the state. They have an office in our incubator on Court Avenue, and they have a lot of experience dealing with federal funds.
Okay, is this are they based in Columbus?
They have a headquarters in Columbus. They have an office in Akron, Cleveland. Yes, sir.
All right. Because there's two ECDI Incorporated. So one's a nonprofit out of Columbus, and the other one is a loan broker out of Texas. I just wanted clarification on who we were dealing with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All good.
Okay. And Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
there's an amendment on this also. It's simply adding language that we'd like to enter into contract with ECDI and any and all other contracts necessary for the proper expenditure of these funds.
Okay. Any other questions on this ordinance?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor, after the passage of this, when will these money hit the street?
We hope to have these funds on the street within a week or two. So we've been working, quietly putting this program together. So I know it's the intent of the mayor to have these dollars on the street ASAP.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Director Williams?
Yeah.
Is there a minimum max that each place gets?
Mr. Chairman, members of council, right now the program is written that we will grant up to $5,000. We have not set a minimum, but the maximum will be up to $5,000 for each company.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Member Morse.
Two more questions. Deputy
Yeah.
Mayor, are these loans or grants? And are there any strings attached as there were on the federal stimulus grants, or loans, I should say, that the federal government passed out? In other words, is there any stipulation that says what these small businesses have to use the $5,000 for?
Mr. Chairman, members of council, this is a grant program. This is not a loan program. There are a lot of specifics that this money can only be used for. Those specifics speak to things like paying rent or paying mortgage or paying payroll-related expenses. Businesses have to have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in order to receive these funds.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor, I have a question. You said up to $5,000. What dictates the level of funding that a business would receive?
There are a number of factors such as years in business, annual sales, how much of an impact COVID-19 has had on the business, what their true needs are, things of those natures will be factored in.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, it sounds like a great program.
Mr. Chairman,
yeah.
one more question. Are
Yeah.
they limited on how many grants they can apply for, each company? Because 5,000 is like a drop in the bucket of what some of our local businesses really need to help them out. And I'm not sure if most of you have paid much attention to the stimulus loans that were passed out to small businesses. Those loans could ultimately bankrupt a lot of local businesses due to the fact that the stipulations that the federal government attached to those loans made it virtually impossible for them to spend all the money as the government stated they should allocate it to, which ultimately means that those loans won't be forgiven.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, members of council, again, this is a grant program, and unfortunately, if one of the small businesses that apply for these funds have already received other federal funds through the CARES Act, they are not eligible for these funds. And that includes businesses that may have received monies from the Paycheck Protection Program. And they can only apply for our funds one time.
One time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll sign this out. It is 7:24, and that will conclude the joint session of Finance and Community and Economic Development.
Mr. President.
Mr. President?
Member Schulman.
President? Yes, I'm going to speak to the judiciary. It is 7:24, and this is first reading number 7, an ordinance authorizing the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as part of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Canton, Ohio, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. This is Chris Bates from the Law Department. And members of council, this is something you see every year as we update and amend our ordinances throughout the year, our codified ordinances. We have to get that information to our provider who puts it online and updates it, and also updates it in written form. And so I bring this to you once again, as I do every year, so that we can update all of our ordinances to make sure the public can see the latest version.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll sign that out at 7:25. And I'm trying to read ordinance number 8, but for some reason my iPad won't bring that up. So, one moment. Could I have some assistance with someone actually reading that for me? I can't get it to come up on my iPad.
Yes, Madam Chairman, this is Chris Bates again, and this is a companion ordinance, Madam Chairman, and also members of council. where we asked to distribute free of charge the written amended ordinances to certain public offices and to affix a price of the whopping amount of $4.80 for the amendment to someone who would like to purchase them, although we don't have many takers anymore now that we're online. So it's just a companion ordinance that I can distribute free of charge to any public offices that want the written version of the amendment so that they can keep those in their offices.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, we'll sign that out at 7:26. That concludes the judiciary.
Mr. President, I've referred Community and Economic Development, and it's 7:26.
That's Fergie.
Just turned 7:27 here. All right.
Fergie.
Ordinance number 5, an ordinance approving the Department of Development amended citizen participation plan, declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, this is companion legislation to the CDBG / coronavirus funds. This citizen participation plan allows us to expedite our normal processes in order to get dollars on the street. So what we're asking your permission to pass this so that, again, we can begin the process of getting dollars on the street.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Nope. We signed that out at 7:28. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Member Scaglione.
7:28, we'll call it joint session of Finance and Public Property Capital Improvement together. This is ordinance number 12, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service and the Canton Park Commission to advertise, receive bids, award, and enter into contracts for a lease of approximately 741 square feet of office space and other space incidental to its use for nonprofit youth programming at 1414 Market Avenue North and declaring the same to be an emergency. Is there anybody who wants to speak on this?
Mr. Chairman, members of council, this is John Hyman. I can speak on this. Essentially what's going on here is the park department office that's currently at 1414 Market in the Amateur Sports Hall of Fame building, they're going to be working towards moving those park offices to the Garden Center in Stadium Park. What that's going to do is vacate approximately 741 square feet of office space. So what this legislation, if passed, would do, it would allow the service director and the park commissioners to advertise a bid to lease that space, and specifically in the ordinance, we name items such as mentoring, tutoring, after-school programming, peer counseling, and public-focused community events. The thought here is that the Be a Better Me Foundation would be interested in potentially bidding on this lease.
Any questions, concerns about this ordinance? Hearing none, we'll sign this out, 7:29. Thank you.
Council is reconvening after the recess. Leader Schmuck.
Mr. President, I move that we suspend Rule 22A to place ordinances 2 through 13 back on this evening's agenda.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to suspend Rule 22A to place ordinances 2 through 13 back on this evening's agenda. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Aye. Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Scaglione. Aye. Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
Ordinances 2 through 13 are a legal part of your agenda. Peter?
Mr. President, I move we suspend the statutory rules of ordinance number 2 through 13.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the statutory rules on ordinances 2 through 13. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Aye. Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
You've heard the 3 readings. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 2.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 2. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please, Mr. Clerk.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 2 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 3.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 3. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please, Clerk.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 3 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 4.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 4. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll vote please, Mr. Clerk.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 4 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 5.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 5. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Aye. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 5 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 6.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 6. Are there any remarks under this ordinance?
Have an amendment, please.
Mr. President, I move we amend ordinance number 6 by the amendment before every council.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to amend ordinance number 6 per the copy before each of you. Are there any remarks? Hearing none by voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Leader?
President, I move we adopt ordinance number 6 as amended.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 6 as amended. Are there any remarks on this ordinance as amended? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 6 as amended has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 7.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 7. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 7 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 8.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 8. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Paul. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 8 has been adopted. Leader?
President, I move we adopt ordinance number 9.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 9. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Paul. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Merrill.
Abstain.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
10 yeas, 1 abstention, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 9 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 10.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 10. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas.
The motion carries and ordinance number 10 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 11.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 11. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 11 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 12.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 12. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas.
The motion carries and ordinance number 12 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 13.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 13. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Gaglione.
Aye.
Smith. Aye. Fisher.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 13 has been adopted. We are now under ordinances and formal resolutions for their second reading, and we have none for this evening.
The annexation committee.
Well, hold on, hang on. Member Hawk, hang on for 1 second.
Yes, sir.
We are now under ordinances and formal resolutions for their third final reading and vote, and we have none for this evening. We are now under announcement of committee meetings.
Mr. President,
Member Hawk.
annexation committee will meet Monday, June 1st, 2020 at 7 p.m.
We'll meet at 6:45, please.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk, 6:45, sir.
Thank you, Member Hawk. We are now under miscellaneous business. Is there any miscellaneous business for this evening?
Mr. President,
Leader Smucker.
as Ohio begins to open this weekend, please urge everyone to be aware, be careful, and please be safe.
Thank you, Leader Smucker.
Mr. President,
Member Hawk.
I would again like to thank the Park Commission and the local Park City Park employees who took an exceptional job down in Monument Park. If you get an opportunity to go down and take a look at it, they're doing this with their own personnel and with their own equipment. It's not been contracted out. I'm very proud of what they're doing down there. It's really had a lot of our park system.
Thank you, Member Hawk. Is there any other miscellaneous business for this evening? Hearing none, Clerk Doherty, or quote for the week, please.
Empathy is essential. Don't let anyone else's mood or circumstances infiltrate your head, heart, or home. Better, be kind. We're all fighting a battle.
Thank you, Clerk Doherty. Leader?
Mr. President, I move to adjourn.
Second. Been moved and seconded to adjourn. Mr. Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Gaglione.
Aye.
Smith. Fisher.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
This meeting is adjourned. Everybody be safe.
Thank you.